What's good, folks? Today we gonna be getting into The Walking Dead, but I'm gonna tell you right now, you might get mad at some of these takes because they gonna be hot, but they gonna be valid. So, getting right into the fire. First, we gonna talk about Clementine. Now, Clementine, my hottest take for her is that she raising AJ up way too fast. Now, when I say this, yeah, I know he gotta survive and all that, but for real, this man got that thing on him at the age of 5. And if you remember, Clementine, when she started, she was 8 years old. And 5 years old, you ain't even in school yet. Listen, you just now getting to school. And this man, AJ, his aim already on point. So I'm thinking he had to be like 4 years old learning this stuff. And to be honest, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but I feel like she didn't really give him time to be a kid at all, time to be vulnerable. That's why this man's so cold like that. When he took out Marlon, hey, I'm just saying, he gave out little shades of Carver. I'm thinking Clementine, she might be raising this man the way Carver wanted him to be raised. And let's talk about another fan favorite. We talking about Lee. Now Lee, everybody love to say Lee was a great leader. But no, if you actually think about it, was Lee ever really the leader? Because what it seems like is the driving force is Lily. Listen, Lily, she over here handing out the rations. She over here keeping everybody in check, and she trying to make sure everything going smoothly. I feel like the leader of the group, it was really Lily. Listen, Lee, he more at the heart and soul of the team. And then people might be saying, what about after Lily was gone? It was Kenny coming up with the plan. So I feel like Lee, he was never really a leader in the first place. But we get into a fan favorite again. We talking about Kenny. Now listen, I know everybody like Kenny, but if we being honest, this man plans, they were just driven by raw emotion rather than logic. And some of his egregious decisions, like pushing forward in a broken down truck with barely any supplies, looking for a place that you just heard rumors about. That is kind of crazy. And not to mention the plan in season 1 where he was trying to get to a boat. This man plan was just get to a boat. He ain't had nothing thought out. Now I'm not saying he should have 1,000 IQ and know everything, but his plans, they really all seem like a shot in the dark. He don't need to be in charge of planning many things. He got a lucky break at the end, but I gotta say, he should have never been cooking in the first place. They should not let that man cook. Get him out the kitchen. Kenny, you don't know what you're doing out there. Next hot take, we gonna talk about Lily. Now, you might be saying, what's my hot take for Lily? I'm specifically talking about season 1. I think Lily and Lee would have been a better dynamic duo than Carly and Lee, especially from a writing standpoint. If you think about it, Lee and Lily, hey, it would have caused some tension, even more tension than we got from Larry, because Larry, oh yeah, he would have been furious. I think that, hey, once they locked in that meat locker room, Larry ain't even worried about the cannibals. He finna run his ones with Lee. And then at that point, hey, Larry gonna get a better death scene right there, because they might really have to throw hands. You know, hey, I'm just saying, from a writing standpoint, Lily and Lee, it would have been better than Lee and Carly. And I'm not gonna lie, season 1, you know, she was a looker. And the later season, hey, she fell off, but we ain't worried about that. Now let's talk about someone from the noob tier. We talking about David Garcia. Listen, David, he gets a lot of hate for being aggressive, but for real, the leadership he showed, it does make sense. David, he wasn't trying to be people's friends. He was trying to keep them alive. Somebody gotta make the tough calls. David, he kind of remind me of Lily. They were both trying to make the tough calls. And my hot take for him is, if more people would listen to him, Richmond wouldn't have fallen apart like that. He was one of the leaders who seemed like they knew what they were doing. But for the next hot take, listen, this one, hey, we talking about AJ. Now AJ, my hot take for him is that his father is Carver. He might not look it, but I see Carver in his actions they take. Listen, the Marlon accident, how this man was raised himself. I think Carver will really be proud of the way that Clementine raised this man, because AJ, he is exactly like how Carver wanted him. And at the end of the story, AJ philosophy, it kind of sounds like something Carver would say. Hey, Carver did say the weak gotta get up out of there and the strong gotta survive. And look at the 10 situation. AJ had to make a choice. He felt like 10 was holding them back. So he got 10 up out of there. And this really reminds me of the conversation that Carver had with Clementine when she was a kid. Yeah, so my hot take with AJ is Alvin.
You are not.
Now next up, let's take a character from the final season. Listen, I'm talking about Violet, and my hot take for her is that she get way too much slack for the betrayal that she showed. Listen, if you would have chose to save Louise, Violet, she was gonna start throwing hands with you when you came to save her, and that's kind of like, come on now, I've been through all this trouble, and now you trying to throw hands with me? I was like, alright, I'm cool off that. Hey, it ain't on the level of Bonnie and Mike, but still, people act like that ain't even happen. So yeah, that's my hot take for Violet. Now this one, it might just be me, but I feel like I might give Carlos a little bit too much hate. I do blame him for Sarah's death. He's just like how I imagine every father would be. He over here trying to protect his little baby girl. He don't want her going out there. Listen, I think he actually one of the most realistic characters, him and Sarah. That kind of what makes his character good. Now let's get into another hot take. Listen, this one, we talking about James. Now if you don't remember James from Walking Dead final season, it was the weirdo who was with all the walkers walking around, and he helped you take over Lily's boat. Now the thing that I'm thinking about is this man, his little philosophy. When I first heard it, I'm like, what this man smoking on? He gotta be eating them mushrooms in the forest, cause ain't no way you think them walkers living like that? I was like, yeah, we gotta get this. Hey, he a little loony, but I'm gonna go with it so he could help me out. But looking back on it, he was a damn psychopath. That's my hot take on him. I don't, hey, listen, he thought he was really cooking with that cowbell scene. Bro, if you don't gone somewhere that bullshit. But I'm saying this to say, I think that, in all honesty, James, he would probably make a great villain if they made another season, because he got beef with Clem. I know he could have got up out of there early, but if not, he still make a good villain for Clem, because think about it. You gotta face him and every other single walker. And hey, them fumes getting to his head. I know he be stinking all the time because he got blending with the walkers all the time. So I think that them fumes, he turned into a psychopath day by day. But what hot take do you agree with? And let me know your hot take down in the comments. But if you like the video, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you wanna, and check out this video right here. I make a whole lot of Walking Dead content. And if you got another idea, hey, shoot them at me. I might just make it. But with that being said, we out. It's all still rains. Hit the subscribe and leave a like. Ooh.